All right, Commanders fans, let's talk about what's really going on right now, because this franchise is clearly working to improve every detail, trying to build a team that can not only compete, but actually sustain success in 2026 and beyond. And today, we've got a story that connects two worlds, a division rival potentially making a big move, and at the same time, the Commanders revealing exactly how they plan to unlock their franchise quarterback. So stay with me until the end, because this one, it tells you everything about where this team is headed. But first, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Let's get into it. Commanders fans, if you want the official Washington Commanders store, the link is in the description and in the comment. Tons of new gear available. Let's start with the headline that should immediately grab your attention. A longtime Commanders leader, a fan favorite, one of the most respected defenders in the league, Bobby Wagner, is now being linked to a potential move to a division rival, the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, let that sink in. This isn't just another free agency rumor. This is about identity. This is about leadership. And more importantly, this is about what Washington might be losing and what Dallas might be gaining. We're talking about an 11-time All-Pro, a player who, even at this stage of his career, still reads offenses at an elite level, commands the defense pre-snap, produces at a high level week after week. If you watched him last season in Washington, you know he was still that guy. Let's be honest about something. The Cowboys' defense in 2025, it struggled badly. They were one of the worst scoring defenses in the league. And what do teams do when they have that kind of problem? They look for stability. They look for leadership. They look for someone who can walk into the locker room and instantly raise the standard. That's Bobby Wagner. From Dallas's perspective, it makes sense. From Washington's perspective, it could be painful, because losing Wagner to a division rival, that's more than just losing a player. That's potentially strengthening your competition. Why is Washington even in a position to lose him? And the answer is simple. They're building for the future. The Commanders are not operating like they used to. This isn't about short-term fixes anymore. This is about developing young talent, managing the salary cap wisely, building a long-term contender. And while Wagner still produces, he doesn't necessarily fit the long-term timeline. Let's shift to the most important piece of this entire franchise, the quarterback. Because while the defense is being reshaped, everything in Washington revolves around one name, Jayden Daniels. Let's not forget what he did in 2024. Offensive Rookie of the Year, led the team to the NFC Championship, set multiple NFL rookie records. He was electric, dynamic, a true game changer. And then 2025 happened, and everything changed. Injuries, elbow, knee, hamstring, limited him to just a handful of starts, and when he did play, the team struggled to find consistency. Heading into 2026, this is it. This is the year that defines, is he just talented or is he truly elite? Head coach Dan Quinn gave us a major insight into what's coming next, and it's a shift that could change everything. Yes, Daniels is one of the most dangerous runners in the league, but the Commanders are making one thing clear. They don't want him taking unnecessary hits anymore. Instead, they want to unlock his ability as a passer on the move. Quinn emphasized something critical, turning scramble situations into explosive passing plays. That means rolling out, extending the pocket, keeping eyes downfield instead of just taking off and running. And this is where it gets even more interesting. With David Blough now leading the offense, we're going to see something completely different. For most of his career, Daniels has operated out of the shotgun, spread offense, quick reads. Now, Washington wants to put him under center more, because being under center opens up play-action passing, deep shot opportunities, more deception in the run game. And with Daniels' arm strength, that's dangerous. Here's the key idea. You don't take away his athleticism, you evolve it. You make it safer, more efficient, more explosive. In just 24 NFL starts, Daniels has already 4,830 passing yards, 33 touchdowns, only 12 interceptions, and over 1,100 rushing yards. That's elite production. Now, imagine that with better protection, a smarter scheme, and a full, healthy season. So, let's tie this all together. The Commanders may lose a legendary leader like Bobby Wagner. They're investing in youth and long-term growth, they're completely redesigning the offense, and they're putting everything on Jayden Daniels. This is a transition moment. Commanders fans, this is where things get real. Letting a player like Bobby Wagner walk, possibly to Dallas, is risky. Changing the offensive system, also risky. Asking Daniels to evolve his game, definitely risky. But here's the truth. You don't build something great without taking risks. And Washington is betting on one thing above all else, that Jayden Daniels is the future. Let's be honest for a second. The wide receiver room last season, it didn't live up to expectations. You had Terry McLaurin, your all-pro leader, you brought in Deebo Samuel to elevate the offense, and on paper, it looked dangerous. But on the field, it never fully clicked. What went wrong? Injuries hit hard. McLaurin saw his production dip to career lows. Samuel was solid, but not the game-changing force fans expected. And instead of a playoff push, this team ended up with a top 10 draft pick. That tells you everything. A new direction begins. Now heading into 2026, things are different. Samuel is likely gone, and the Commanders are reshaping the room. They brought back Dyami Brown, they added veteran Van Jefferson, and they're giving young guys more opportunities. But let's be real, that's not enough. The missing piece. This offense still lacks one critical element, a true explosive weapon, a receiver who can stretch the field, win contested catches, create mismatches, and most importantly, take pressure off Terry McLaurin and help Jayden Daniels elevate this passing attack. Enter the name you need to know. Let me introduce you to a player who is absolutely flying up draft boards, Ted Hurst. And Commanders fans, this might be the perfect fit. From underdog to NFL prospect, Hurst's journey isn't typical. He didn't come from a powerhouse program. He started at Valdosta State, a Division II school, then transferred to Georgia State, and all he's done since? Produce. The production is real. Last season, 71 receptions, 1,004 yards, 6 touchdowns. He led his team in receiving for 2 straight years and finished top 5 in program history across multiple categories. That's no fluke, that's consistency. Then came the Combine, and this is where everything changed. Hurst showed up at the NFL Combine and put the entire league on notice. 4.42 second 40-yard dash, 36.5-inch vertical, 11 feet 3-inch broad jump. Best among wide receivers. That last number, that's elite explosiveness. What makes him special? At 4'4", 206 pounds, Hurst brings something Washington desperately needs. Size and speed. He's not just fast, he's long, physical, and dangerous in contested situations. A true deep threat. This is a guy who can line up outside, attack downfield, win 50-50 balls, and stretch defenses in a way Washington simply couldn't last year. Why he fits this offense perfectly. Now, think about what the Commanders are building. A system designed to unlock Jayden Daniels. More play action, more deep shots, more explosive plays. That's where Hurst comes in. Because Daniels already has the arm talent. He just needs targets who can get open deep, win vertically, finish plays. Hurst checks every box. And here's the best part. You might not need to spend a first-round pick on him. There's a strong chance he's still available when Washington picks around number 71. That's where this becomes interesting. High upside, low risk.
This is the type of move smart teams make. You're not forcing a pick early. You're finding value. You're betting on upside. And you're adding a player who could outperform his draft position. The league is already watching. Multiple teams are lining up to meet with Hurst. Kansas City Chiefs, Las Vegas Raiders, Minnesota Vikings, Atlanta Falcons, Green Bay Packers. That's not random. That's real interest. So what does Washington do? That's the big question. Do they go WR early, address another position first, or wait and steal a guy like Hurst later? The smart play might be patience, because this draft class is deep at receiver. And if Hurst is still there, he could walk into Washington and immediately compete for snaps. Imagine this scenario. You line up McLaurin as your W1, Hurst stretching the field, Jefferson and Brown rotating. Suddenly, this offense looks completely different. And it all comes back to Daniels. Everything this team is doing, every move, every decision is about one thing: maximizing Jaden Daniels. So let me ask you, would you be worried if Bobby Wagner joins the Cowboys? Do you like the idea of changing Jaden Daniels' playing style? And do you believe this new offensive system will unlock his full potential? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear from you. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Official Washington Commanders gear, fresh new drops, and exclusive items all in the link below. Check it out. Because the Commanders are making big moves, and this season, it's going to define everything.